Now check it out, right? What I'm about to say, just take it with a grain of salt. I don't hate astrology, but I just felt like this song is needed because I don't fuck with astrology. Let's get it. This shit fuck zodiac. This shit fuck astrology. Wonder why an angel gotta teach that. Wonder why an angel gotta teach that. This shit fuck zodiac. Shit fuck astrology. Wonder why an angel gotta teach that. Wonder why an angel gotta teach that. I wonder why, but then I just realized why. In a really money for you misunderstand the nature's greatest sin. You not on you. Can't get back to royal sister. Watch the current, it's up to you. Aries, Taurus, Leo, too. Isis, Sagittarius, Virgo, Moose. It's the blueprint, Cancer, Gemini, Libra, Scorpio, Captain, Gemini, Aquarius. Notice I said Gemini twice. Y'all talk a lot, y'all still ain't shake. Don't feel important, cause all signs suck. Sagittarius, wanna learn about what's up. Now we're some feet. They had a boat, but still can't swim. How y'all bitch, but still can't swim? Ain't that crazy? That's no way. I love all your asses. But just know this is important. Please rise your monkey asses if I was, because we be creators. In the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions, make life out of cloud. Reach your miracles, bitch. Take my fucking cold time. God gave me. Put it on a mission to us, so God gave me now. Check. Rich shit fuck the zodiac. Rich shit fuck astrology. Alright, yeah. Wonder why an angel gotta teach that. Wonder why an angel gotta teach that. I wonder. Rich shit fuck astrology. Rich shit. Wonder why an angel. Wonder why an angel. Yeah, I know you're sending you know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, let's get it. 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 Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get this. Fuck my. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm tripping. I was just one live on my phone. Tripping. I was one live. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. Knowing astrology is dope for your brain. You know what I'm saying? It's good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's the right thing that should be happening toward yourself. You know what I'm saying? And when you're into your astrology, you know there's certain things that is necessarily good for you and just you only. You know what I'm saying? Because you like it's like once you know where your certain planets is at, once you know what sign you're ascending is or rising, whatever you want to call it, you start to realize that the whole thing plays out like almost like a synchronicity within yourself, understanding how you like it betters yourself when you know where these things play out are playing out in the houses or the planet or what planet is in that house or what cusp you got going on or what all that shit, you know, or stellium or you know what I'm saying, all that shit, you know what I'm saying. What if whether you're more of a fire, earth, air, or water sign? So it's like all that shit plays out within itself, and that's look at that like your mini atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And however you as a spirit pick the certain transits, astrological signs within yourself, that will be the actual sign on how it would go within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. And whatever you're doing, you want to be aware that the things that go on within those houses, like look at the planets as like people. You know what I'm saying? Look at the houses as the environment. You know what I'm saying? Look at uh the the elements as the flavor. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you can do anything, but this is the example I'm giving you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And let's say you got a certain flavor within somebody's way of seeing something. You know what I'm saying? And let's say you got Mercury in the fifth house, Mercury in the fifth house in a water sign. Now I'm not gonna say what certain water sign that could be, but just an example. You know what I'm saying? If once you look at it, you'll see that the space on whatever that. So I'll just Pisces. So you got Pisces, right? So it will be like you having that Mercury in the fifth house and having that in Pisces will make you the way you like to get your creativity sparked or creativity going. You like to think a lot about it in an emotional like way. You know what I'm saying? Or your the things you enjoy, you like to think a lot about it in an emotional like way. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what, you'll have something that if you don't know how to properly look at it, if you don't know how to properly, you know, see it through within the way that actual portal is working for itself, then you won't understand that the reason you may do something in a reactory way may be because of that way you see something within the Mercury being Pisces in the fifth house. You know what I'm saying? And that wouldn't I'm here sending let me see. Sag Capricorn. No, Scorpio. Yeah, yeah, Scorpio. So that would make you a Scorpio rising. You know what I'm saying? And so by default, your people see you and think to you in a space on where they may think that you like to go deep within something in your life. That's the first impressions you give off towards an individual. And whether that be true or not, Scorpio isn't really like your ascendant being your rising, your ascendant being in Scorpio isn't really what you're gonna do or how you're gonna react or um emotion. It's not how you're gonna emotionally react or emotionally take your actions, but it may be the space on where you manifest, not manifest, but the way you like see things, like the way an individual's like see shit is gonna be more deep occultist stuff. You know what I'm saying? With the Mercury there, you like to have fun in that area within the space on where you like to think about your creativity's fun in a water like way. You know what I'm saying? So however that applies to you, like that was kind of like a free reading for Scorpio risings, Mercury in the fifth house. If you watching me, you do have that element in your house, so you know what I'm talking about when I said all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with like that's kind of like why it's knowing your astrology is dope for your brain. Like I said, knowing astrology is dope for your brain because if once you know that stuff, you'll be like almost like a ninja or a karate master within the mind, and you'll know how to cut stuff off, know how to not let shit attach to you. You know what I'm saying? You'll be in the space on where you're more like how I say this. You're more.
getting your shit correlated, you're getting your 1-2 correlated, you know what I'm saying? And no matter what, we're all gonna be in a space on where if we don't know how to properly look at these things, if we don't know how to properly adjust within ourselves and our and others within the space on how we're trying to see something, then we'll be lost in the sauce, thinking not understanding that certain tool where we're using, which is astrology, which is what we use for our brain, we may not know that we we may yet be getting lost in a certain allegory on what something is leaning towards. It's like you may be leaning towards a certain characteristic within your natal chart. You know what I'm saying? Like you may be doing something like leaning towards a certain characteristics within yourself, and not understanding that people see that, and you may think to yourself like that's the end all and be all for yourself. That like because I be seeing like y'all know how they'd be like, oh, you're a Libra, or I'm a Sagittarius. Oh shit, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. That's like you're and then the like you're making something that doesn't even need to be something for real something. So you're making nothing something, and really astrology is just like the second part of the thing. Your mind is the first part. Astrology is the second part. So why not understand how the mind is first? And once you understand how the mind is, you'll know that the astrology comes second, and it's just something you use as a tool. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know if you don't know the proper way and how to see it, you'll think to yourself that people's way of how to go upon their expressions within themselves, like people will think to themselves that they're being left behind, or they're getting ran over because that certain characteristics they have within that's why females are more into astrology than men. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that they're already seeing the routine, the patterns in their life, like the almost all the time, so much that they can actually like respect it. You know what I'm saying? They can actually see it from a long distance and know where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? And other than a man talking about, oh, you went to astrology? Oh man, just this chick into astrology. You know how she is. She a spooky bitch. She a spooky bitch. Oh, she one of them. She just like that. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that the reason the female would be even into that in the first place would be something that they can relate to within the actual energy forms itself, the energy signatures within itself, and what it holds for that individual spirit. And the female creating their own spirit, not spirit, the own body was actually made in the more percentage level of the astrological ways and how to see shit, because females are 60% feminine, 40% masculine. Men are 40% feminine, 60% masculine. So our goal as a whole, as a society, is to understand the 50-50% within ourselves. I mean, not to make it 50-50% and be in equilibrium. That's where they came up with the allegory of like all that LGBT shit bullshit. I'm not saying bull. I'm talking about LGBT whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about being like both genders or whatever like that, but it's just understanding the equilibrium of something. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that, you'll understand that it's understanding the duality of both sides of the 369 of itself. And once you understand that, you'll see that the whole thing in itself is the magic. So once you better each hold of yourself, you understand the space on where you're supposed to be seen within a subjective lane. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like That's that's how you know yourself in a brought out looking way in the astrology terms. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's why it's good to know these things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know these things, you'll think to yourself that your whole life is supposed to be supposed to be made to like please another person's ideas or ideologies or astrological flows within themselves, and that just means trying to force somebody that you know beyond the astrology in the mind you're not compatible with. You keep forcing yourself to be compatible with them. That's how you know you're in the wrong elemental shift in your life, and you're utilizing your certain insecurities to boost up your validations. And it's really you got to use your vulnerabilities as the tool, as the gift. So once you use that, you'll be in the space of the all, and you'll be balanced and equalized and knowing how to see something from a general perspective. And then once you see in that space, you'll see, you understand your things to look at, the things not to look at, the things to internalize, the things not to internalize. And what and at the end of the day, you're letting go of these things in general. Like they go in you and out. You know what I'm saying? Once you let these motherfuckers go in you and get and go within your what's it called? What's it called? Not stomach, but let's say spiritual stomach, spiritual. Oh, or organs, spiritual stomach, and you let it go in you, and then you think and feel hella hard about it, and tell yourself, nah, this is me, this is me, knowing that this is a fucked up, insecure thought that you really don't be needing for yourself. Then you let it be you, then it lives within you. Then you take the same characteristic actions within that shit within you and that yourself, and you start to think that this is the space that you should be living by your whole life, and you throw your whole life in the garbage. You start to live for somebody else, or live for a thought that was never even you in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But once you're in a space somewhere, you know how to individualize those things and know how to separate those things. You'll be in a space somewhere it'll go through you, in and out, through you and out. So it'll float through you and then you float out. You know what I'm saying? And once you're in the spiritual realm, you're looking at things from that third person perspective in general. You know what I'm saying? And once you're seeing that shit from the third person perspective, you can look at the mirror and start to create things of character within yourself to know how you're seen, because the mirror is just the thing that you need to look at if you're not in the relative position of not making your your vulnerabilities the right thing. Like if you it'll be something like that. You know what I'm saying? And once you're seeing it from that perception, you'll choose you'll choose to if you want to be seen in a certain light or not. You know what I'm saying? And either whatever light you be seen in is that duality. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes the all, because it's singularity then duality, and once you get that singularity going, the duality creates itself and makes the all. You know what I'm saying? And once you make the all, you're in the space on where you can now get the whole place going. Like you can choose to burn down the building, crash into the building, do all types of shit. You can do, and then lay your footprint and lay your shit, let your shits happen. Let the games begin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you got certain spirits, you know what I'm saying, trying to like play some weird role within themselves because of some insecurities that they know they really shouldn't even be having, But then you're in a space of where once you see them, you kind of like you fake understand it, but you really don't. But you kind of understand it, and you kind of look at it. You kind of look at it from the perception of where if you was them, what would you do? And you always tell yourself, I really wouldn't do enough, all that shit. Like I can see why they, but then I see the other part, like what the fuck is that? Like, why you need to do that? You know what I'm saying? And it'll lead to things like creating illusions or doing some like some nonsense illusion, getting lost illusion after illusion, and then getting that clarity out that they think is they're doing, and it's just some flunked out retarded ass shit. And once you're the powerful spirit and you see these things, you have no choice to scratch your head and like be like, the fuck these motherfuckers got going on? Like it's almost like distasteful. Almost it's almost like you don't even know if you want to entertain it or not. You don't know if you want to like you don't know. You don't know what you want to do. But what you do come to the conclusion is that this is not something that they can get away with if they keep on doing it for a long more, and they've been doing it for a while now. So it's like once you see it from that perception, you're more in the space on where you're getting the the ways of how you express yourself, like the ways how you express yourself towards these individuals more. Almost you try to be almost relatable. You know what I'm saying? And once you don't know how to get like relatable, or once you don't know how to, then that's how all hell breaks loose, and you just gotta burn that building and then and crash into every building and do all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause like it's like yeah, it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know what the fuck you're doing to see know what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know what you're seeing, you'll be lost forever, and you won't know what the fuck it is you're supposed to be doing down here. What the fuck it is you're supposed to be doing in your next life. You really think you've got to train to do something in your next life, not understanding you're doing your next life right now. So just know how to see it, know how to do it, know how to better yourself instead of bettering yourself in a bet. You're not bettering yourself. You betting on yourself, and whatever sinks your submarine, that's on you. But you gotta be in the perception on where on where it's seen. You know what I'm saying? Because you won't be in any way of looking at things without you understanding yourself. And if you don't understand yourself, and you're still lost in the allegories of life and the ways and how something is supposed to be seen and the way something is supposed to be felt, then you'll forever be the lost soul that was at the playground, not knowing if they're coming or going, thinking there's an actual left and right, not knowing that we imitate and we internalize and emanate. You know what I'm saying? So you would never know that if you didn't know yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be in a space somewhere you're not emanating, and they be imitating, but you'll be in a space where you're not emanating or internalizing. You know what I'm saying? You'll be in a space somewhere you're simply just getting more stagnated and condensed. You know what I'm saying? I pick my nose too. I did like that. But you'll be in a space where you're condensing, and for you to even get out of those condensing forms, you gotta get rid of the first, the next layer, then the next layer, then, and however deep you're into it, kind of shows you how far you're going within yourself now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why if you want to get a head start and get the fuck out of a bunch of that shit right now, then y'all just gotta start working with people like us. You know what I'm saying? Like I got y'all see my cash app. Look, hold on. My cash app is JT. It's below the description. JT8880. You know what I'm saying? Dollar sign first. JT8880. You can cash at me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. You can wherever if you want to write a message and say and be like, yeah, I seen you live, bro. You right, yeah. No, like I like you really like you know what you're talking about. Give me some money or give me a lot. Like I'm not. I don't want to speak. I don't want to follow you. Have to just whatever you think is necessary. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if it ain't over 50,000, then don't even don't even send it. But if it's below it, then I might give you some game where it's supposed to be where you're supposed to exceed yourself out of something like where if you really want to be somewhere and not have to play out something in the physical, if you really want to be in a space where shit is playing out or emanate your space where shit is playing out, I'll give you some game about that in the mind. You know what I'm saying? But that's just for those who be fucking with me on the low and will be secretly watching. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that be secretly watching, you know what I'm saying? But beyond that, you know what I'm saying? We want to be in a space somewhere we're understanding the way and how shit is understood. You know what I'm saying? Once you understand how the shit is understood, you'll be in a space somewhere. Excuse me. Place where you'll get certain shit happening for you, and the shit you got going on for you will start to play out more positive in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you will forever be in a greater space than what you are right now, because whatever your space you are right now is already trash. It's already low. You already felt a certain amount of times. You already you already sacrificed yourself too many times and killed the wrong spirits too many times. So if you don't want to be in hell and you want to go to any sort of heaven you think is real, then start working with spirits like us. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know why y'all are so in your ego, so much in your ego, and think that like we just gonna like trust me, we know what to do with that power. You know what I'm saying? We know what to do with that power. You know what I'm saying? Like you can inflate my views, whatever. I know what to do with that power. You know what I'm saying? Inflate my subscribers, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. It's kind of like inflate my money. Y'all say I'm I'm dead ass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you want do things like that, and then once you do things like that, I'll be in a space where I can actually respect it. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect it if it's all phony, if it's all fake, if it's all this. Like, I don't know. But do things where just y'all got because y'all already respect me, but I don't really give a fuck about the respect. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it now. I want to see it now. I want to see it now. You know what I'm saying? I like that's kind of what I'm staring for in a certain direction now. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? So and you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so in that's the space on where we want to be at all times. You know what I'm saying? And once you're in that space at all times, you're in the space on where you're in the space on where you just relaxed. You just you're just at peace. And once you're in that space, that's like the best space to be in. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't need to worry about nothing. You just go in your own place, own space, not worry about nothing. Just be just be you. You know what I'm saying? And once you're you in that world, it's like things is just different in that world. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's almost like you really didn't. I'm not explaining because I don't want to get it dirty, get that place. But yeah, so it's like it's shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you just don't get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Don't get lost in the motherfucking sauce. But that beyond that, that's pretty much all I want to get out. You know what I'm saying? Extra, knowing, I'll get back. I'll get back to the title because I kind of went on a spiritual rant, but I'm gonna get back to the title point. Knowing your astrology is dope for your brain. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, your brain is not your brain is not your brain is not an electric magnet. Your brain is not a motherfucking an actual like thing you can draw and you can know the shape of it. You know what I'm saying? Your brain almost plays out the form of almost like shapeless. You know what I'm saying? Same as your heart. You know what I'm saying? And these things is something you created in the mind body first. And we're always creating forms in the spiritual realm to create down here. You know what I'm saying? You can bring down any sort of actual thing from the spiritual realm down here if you know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I done brought a leaf from the world I was at down here before. And it was I'm not gonna say the color, but it was I brought it from there down here. Once I created that organ, I was in that space. I was there for I got born into that. Anyway, so shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's like now you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And Just Spark Star Pilot, and we out in this motherfucker.